another episode of Car History. Today we're gonna be doing the Car History GTO. How you guys doing? Welcome back to another video. I'm sorry. I don't know. Another episode of Car History. Episode 2. Today we're on Car Dealership Tycoon and we're gonna be doing the history of the Ferrari 250 GTO. Now, this car was made in 1962 by Ferrari themselves. Pretty obvious. And it was a good performer. It's a good performing car. It goes 274 like in the game. Handling isn't really realistic, but it goes 274 in the game. It accelerates way faster than this, and it was so good at racing that it was a great car. It was generally a great car. So Ferrari decided to adopt it as a race car. So this Ferrari was insane racing. It won the Tour de France Automobile twice in a row, and it won a lot of races. It was quite the car. So originally it sold for $8,000. Adjusting to the inflation rate that we have, that's $100,000, 165, somewhere around there. And people really enjoyed this car. Only 60 something were made, like 65 or something. And I was unaware of this car until it came in Car Dealership Tycoon, and it was a car that I was quite surprised that it was worth $1 million, but after I heard the story, it made sense. So it was produced between 1962 and 1964, 1965, and the car was crazy. It was a good car. People bought it, but the people who bought it needed to be approved by Enzo Ferrari himself. So this car wasn't for any person, so I guess I'm approved by Enzo Ferrari. So this car was a good car. It was a race car, but it got retired. So it was quite the car, and no one really knew about it. It was quite forgotten lately, and nobody was talking about it. But yeah, so it retired from racing in 1965, I believe, and people bought it recently. So in 2014, people bought it, and it sold for about 14 million, I believe. No, 24 million. Yeah, it was sold for 24 million, and yeah, it was a very expensive car that people bought, and it was quite the car. People used it. Well, it really isn't for use. It's more like a collector's car, but yeah, it was sold for much money. But that isn't it. In 2018, early 2018, another one was bought for 34 million, I believe. And since it was bought for 34 million, it broke the record, but it didn't end there. There was a special edition of this car, and it was made special edition, and it was sold for $70 million. Yeah, so it broke its own record twice. It broke its own record, and that's why it is for 10 million in Car Dealership Tycoon. Now, when this came out, people were like, it's worthless, it's generally worthless, but I found it to be quite valuable, because number one, it's the rarest car in the game. You don't see this anywhere. And number two, it's an LMP race car. So, yeah, it was quite the car. Everybody loved it. And the reason why the other thing sold for 70 million was because it was a special edition made with silver paint and everything. And yeah, it was extremely rare, and it was good. The 250, 115 races in total, which is quite amazing because I don't know any other car that won 15 races in total. And it was a great car. Yeah, it doesn't really have a deep history like the Mazda Ferrari, but it's a car worth going over because, yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time.